Your life can be one of two things. It can be an example or it can be a warning.
Writing your goals down is like traveling in time. It takes you to that future and makes you fall in love with that future so that you have what it takes to work hard to get there.
In setting a goal, the main objective of the goal is not to achieve said goal, which sounds very counterintuitive, but it's rather the person you have to become in the process of achieving the goal, the person that it takes to achieve said goal. Most people know how to set goals. Far fewer know how to choose the right ones. In this conversation, we explore the relationship between goals, faith, and vision, and why the biggest goals in life often require us to move forward long before we know exactly how they'll happen. Alrighty, so today we're talking about goals, faith, and vision. Really the interplay between them that allows for a much deeper purpose and also a more compelling and fulfilling mission in your life. Very lofty goals, this conversation. I have no idea where it's going to go, but I'm really excited and I think you're going to find a lot of things valuable about this as well. So where do we start? I like something that Peter Sage says. He taught us that your life can be one of two things.
Yes.
It can be an example or it can be a warning. And obviously as people who are self-loving and we attempt to make our life more of an example than a warning. And we learn from the warnings of other people who did not take their life more intentionally and more seriously. So here we are. The first thing I want to talk about obviously is goals. Let's start with goals. What are goals? I think for the most part we know what goals are. You know, since we were very little kids, we've made goals for many things. We've made goals to save up to buy toys. We've made goals to lose weight. We've made goals to do a lot of things. One thing about goals for sure though, and this again, shout out to Peter Sage for this one. We talked in a recent episode about our comfort zones. How it's imperative and really important for us to step away from our comfort zones.
Yeah.
Turns out the goals are the primary vehicles for that. It is via goals that you are essentially moving yourself from a place of comfort to a place of discomfort and ever so increasingly expanding your zone of comfort, if that makes sense. So there's three aspects of goals that I want to talk about, and then we're going to touch each point in sequential order. The first one is this notion that goals need to be written down.
Yes.
What do you make of that? I've been exposed to self-development for quite a while now, a few years now, and this one, many teachers have told me that you are to write your goals down. You must write your goals down. But I've never really understood why and what difference it makes. You know, is it not enough for me to just memorize it, to say to myself every morning, why do I need to have my goals written down? Have you thought about that? And what do you make of that?
Yes, I was taught about that because the first time I was taught that I didn't believe it. Naturally, being a revolted child. Actually, the first person who taught me that was Dad.
Really, OG?
I was like a teenager.
Really?
Yeah. I was in my room on my little table next to my computer. He comes in, he's like, what's your goals? What do you want this year, school-wise? What do you want? And then I told him, he said, write it down. You need to write it down. You need to write your goals down. And then he just left. I looked at him and was like, what's wrong with this Uchi? I moved on with my life. He never gave me an explanation. And we never discussed goal setting in those terms again. But this is just one of those instances that you remember because as you are faced with the teaching later on, you realize, oh wait, my first mentor ever has ever told me this. Actually, I didn't listen to him. I completely ignored him and moved on. He did force this to me. But he did tell me, write your goals down. Yeah.
All that I've heard so far, it just seems to be. I have no problems with metaphysical things. I know they exist. I know I believe them, but this one of why exactly? Is there really a reason why? It seems to be one of those rules, infallible rules of goal achievement that they must be written down somewhere. That act of writing it down, does it engage some super power in the universe? This one I genuinely do not know. But by nature. I always write things down. I write down mundane things.
Because you are you.
Yes, because I'm me.
Very annoying soul.
I've checked that box without even understanding because it just works with the way that I function. But
yes, I have an idea. For being the kind of person who doesn't like write everything down, who doesn't commit things to memory, to writing, especially or reading, I like seeing and listening in general to consume information. I realized something about writing, is that writing is difficult and requires proper thought.
Oh, okay.
So if you're gonna put your goals down properly, you're gonna and as something that is comprehensible, as something that can be read by somebody else and understood, and run by you and make sense, it means you're gonna have to think it through. And we both know what is the vehicle, what kind of vehicle for manifestation thinking is.
Yes.
So first they are your thoughts. So they're important to you. And in that moment when you're writing them down, you have to go to that place. Right? So what's going on into your inner world? What kind of hormones are you activating in your brain, in your body, your heart rate, as you're imagining this moment and try to commit it to paper as perfectly as possible?
I see.
So the act of writing recruits your soul in the endeavor. So when you go down there on paper, you're just writing it, and your goal changes, transform, it morphs as you grow, right?
Yeah.
And I have multiple instances of my goal, and I tapped it, and I realized it was different than writing it. I wouldn't tell you why, but what was different is about how I felt about what I was writing. I'm not a big, I don't write big notes. I write reference thoughts. That's how my note looks like. So if you pick up my notebook, it will make no sense to you, but it's a beautiful maze for me. I can look at it and remember exactly what was going on. Because as I'm taking conversation, I write reference, not in general. So that's why writing works for me. So now, as I was writing on my thought in paper, I had the same feeling I had when I was writing poetry. That full buy-in inside. I'm trying to crack this nut. I'm trying to get into the throes of it. And and I'm writing down my notes. I'm imagining what will happen. We talk later about I won't go there, but about how to what good goals. I have a specific goal. I realized that all the little things I'm doing, to my surprise, have been aligning to my goal. I did not know, but you'll take us there. But writing creates something in you. It forces you to daydream it, to imagine it, because writing is describing something. Now you're describing your dreams, and also you're feeling the way you're gonna feel when they happen, and that pushes you. So now when you've written something happens when you read it again. You experience again.
Takes you back to that same.
What you experienced when
Yes.
you dreamed. That's why reading your goal after you're writing it keeps you in the fight, because it recruits your soul every time you read it. Like it awakens something. It takes you back to the love of your youth, back again. So every time you pick up that note, you're having a bad day, you read it. All of a sudden, your body knows, your body remembers. Oh, that day I was feeling that way. It's like looking at a photo that reminds you of bad news. At this photo, my sister got beat by a dog. You go back there. So that's why you write it, because it creates a feeling that every time you read it, it's going to take you back there, and that feeling keeps you in the fight for its realization.
A more solidified intention. I will not get into into these waters with the people, but my wife and I watched a series. I can now remember the name of the series for the life of me, but it was a person who had access to the infinite realm of possibilities. So now
You didn't tell me about this series?
but what they had to do is, because you can go, there's infinite possibilities. So they had this very advanced piece of tech where if they formulate their intention well enough, they can go anywhere they want. They can go to the universe where they're a multi-trillionaire. But now there's a version of them in that universe that would have to take them out anyway. Whatever happens there. But as they started to get used to using the machine to travel across multiple universes, they found themselves ending up in awful places. One time they go to a place where it's complete disaster. There's snow everywhere. One time it's fire everywhere. One time it's ash. But slowly but surely he realized that my thoughts have to be perfectly aligned. I have to see very clearly. So my emotions, my intellect, they have to be really aligned so that I go where I want to go.
Alignment of heart and mind.
He realized that he could only achieve that by writing. I don't know why this is coming back to me right now. So he would write exactly where he wants to go. And as he's writing, he's descriptive, describing his feelings, describing what he sees. And then that's the only way that he was able to manifest the place that he wanted to go to. So there seems to be, maybe I'm jumping to conclusion here, but it seems like in writing, there is no distraction. It's hard to be distracted, to be double-minded when you're writing, because you have to, your entire being has to be consumed with the act of writing.
All right. Okay. Something very interesting. You know, Jeffrey is the voice in my head. I don't hear Jeffrey when I'm writing.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, when I write, there's nothing else. I'm just,
Yes.
yeah.
I hear Jeffrey when I'm doing almost everything else. Right now, Jeffrey is telling me the tale. It's a wonderful tale. You know? But I hear Jeffrey almost doing anything else. But when I'm writing, thinking about writing, it recruits every part of you to write. If you're gonna write, that's why I always love stories and writing, honestly. It's because it's those rare moments where Jeffrey's not there. You know? And it recruits all of you, which that's that thing you just described, an alignment of heart and mind. Because I'm writing with my body, my hands are involved, right? My body is involved. And then when I'm writing, I'm describing emotions, feelings, I'm observing emotions, I'm observing things, I'm feeling them, you know? And then my subconscious eye is also seeing them. So I'm in a different universe. And that's what we love to read, even stories. It's good for a moment, it takes us there. So writing your goals down is like traveling in time. It takes you to that future and makes you fall in love with that future so that you have what it takes to work hard to get there.
This is the most satisfactory explanation I've ever had about this. This is like brand new for me. These thoughts are being put together in my head right now, realizing, wow, writing them down really is very valuable.
Yes.
And going back to revisit, I have many journals, and chances are you're watching. Maybe you also have a journal, you're watching this. If you go back, you read your previous entries. I can put myself in the place, I can remember what it was like that day in that entry, that I didn't have enough for the electric bill, and the anxiety that you feel and all that stuff. Yes.
No
Yes.
matter how long it has been, when you start reading it, you always remember.
Yes.
It's strange.
Yes. You
You
remember.
didn't write it to
Yes.
remember it. You didn't write to memorize it. But every time you start really reading something, and not everything, I mean, I don't mean the poem or whatever it takes, but when you're reading something that was emotionally charged,
Emotionally charged, yes.
pop.
So the second aspect of goal setting that I wanted to talk about is this notion that in setting a goal, the main objective of the goal is not to achieve said goal, which sounds very counterintuitive, but it's rather the person you have to become in the process of achieving the goal, the person that it takes to achieve said goal. What do you make of that? Do you agree with that notion? Have you changed your mind on it? Or does it still ring true in your ears?
No. When I first heard it, I thought that was foolish. I thought to myself, and this is something that needs to be sold, by the way, because it is critical. It is singularly the most critical aspect of setting goals that I've learned, I finally understood.
Yeah.
Because we are taught the opposite. We are taught that we have to create our goals to achieve specific things.
Yes.
And
we're
then
celebrated for them.
We are celebrated for them. The people that want us to achieve those goals are proud of us. And then we get this dopamine hit, and then we're like, now the goal has ended. Oh no, there is a drop. Now I need new goals to achieve. Imagine a life of chasing difficult goals, no matter how difficult, especially if you're very good at achieving goals. Because the people that are very good at achieving goals, you just go, you achieve them, and then what? No. Achieving a goal is not the point of making a goal. Because if you're setting goals to achieving them, it means you're setting goals that you can achieve. That is a bad approach. I'm going to leave that for the next step. Goals are supposed to be journeys that introduce us to new versions of ourselves. Don't think of it. So it's a door.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
a goal is like a door. Is a door that puts you on the journey.
Yes.
That introduces you to a new version of yourself.
Yes.
Like, let's say I have a goal of running a marathon. I don't have a goal of running a marathon. I don't want to. All right? That's more of a bad thing.
Indeed.
Oh, let's do a goal that I have.
Okay.
I have a goal to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Only God knows how that's going to happen. You know, there is a long journey, not a black belt, a proper black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's going to take years, it's going to take time. We're going to go there. right? What's more important about that goal is not me holding the black belt, is what it takes to become a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Who you have to become.
You discovering that.
You have,
Yes.
it's a journey of discovering that. First off, there is the humility of the white belt. You go there, I am Christian. As a matter of fact, in my peer group, I've always been in the upper percentile of strength and like physical dominance my entire life.
Physical dominance, he says. Okay.
It's true. You know, you've been there my entire life. I just have been. I've never been in a situation where I feel like I'm in physical danger from anybody. And then there is that feeling entering a gym, they slap that white belt, and then you proceed to be submitted all day by people that are not stronger than you.
To humble you.
And they're not trying to humble you. They're actually genuinely, lovingly, with great humility teaching you. You are putting all your effort, your dominance. I mean, I look at Ben, I'm telling myself, I'm with this twig, I just snap him in two. Man, I tried to snap, it slid out of me like a snake. And I'm choking, and I'm tapping, and I'm tapping, and I'm tapping. Now there is something, depending on who you are, and emotions that can be triggered in that stage, especially for newbies when you're starting. You know, be angry. You're being introduced to failure. How to take failure properly. How to be humble. And then you're understanding the scope of this endeavor. Because, I kid you not, it feels like drowning. Like it feels like you've been thrown in water and you don't know how to swim. It is terrible. It is a terrible feeling. I move this way, I try, I'm not gonna pick him up, right? And then all of a sudden, both his legs are on my elbow, I'm in the armbar. What? Okay. Oh, I'm gonna choke him, I'm gonna try to choke him. All of a sudden, I'm in omoplata. My shoulders are being ripped off. Everything I'm doing. And he's doing this methodically, he's not breathing hard. He's having fun. He's actually instructing me, you know, put this leg here, put this hand here. No, don't do that. I'm going to do this, we do that well. And all of a sudden, big old strong Christian knows that if he walks in the street and look at somebody wrong, there is a person who can take his life whenever he wants.
Unassuming people, you wouldn't even know.
No, now that is among the first step of becoming a black belt. Black belts are humble people. They're in control. They're not the kind of person who can be in the bar and then you push him and then he punches you and then goes to jail. If you have a son, my son has to be in jiu-jitsu. Because you get such confidence in yourself and impulse control. You know, so I'm on my journey there. So I'm transforming. If you are a person who had impulse control and anger issues and you couldn't control yourself and something will happen, disrespect will happen, you will snap. Go do jiu-jitsu. That's going to be slapped out of you very quickly. Because the truth is when you're fighting them in jiu-jitsu, you're trying to fight, you're trying to use your strength. Now it's hurting you more. That's when you just be humble, tap. The coach will tell you tap or pass out. It depends on your coach. You know, and then you should start learning to tap. And then you start learning to be in that situation without being irritated. And God knows the discipline it takes to
be in pain and to not respond and to not. That is a big thing to learn, along the way.
Yes, exactly.
Valuable.
So.
Yes.
And there is many valuable lessons there. The consistency. If you have a good coach, he's not going to let you graduate if you're missing classes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you have to be consistent. You have to start conquering the fall. You start submitting blues. You know, people ahead of you. You start submitting, and then I feel like I belong now. And at that point, when you get to your first upgrade of belt, you take it with much humbleness. You're so humble to have it, and so grateful. And then most gyms, you have to walk and they will slap you with the belt on your back. You know, as you it depends on the culture of gym culture, but it transforms you.
That is incredibly valuable. You're going for a belt. At face value, most people think that you're just going to learn how to fight.
No.
You know, you're becoming this incredible fighter, which is part of the truth. But imagine along the way you gain humility.
Yes.
You gain tolerance, you gain love, you gain respect.
Resilience.
Yes.
And it transfers in everything. When I'm training, I generally take discomfort better.
And would you agree that in this process of transformation, you don't even know, the things that you actually get, the valuable things that you get, it's at the end. Once they're already there, you find it's like a surprise. You don't know from
Yes.
the beginning that through this I will gain this.
Sometimes you know because you thought about it deeply, but even then you really don't know. You know, even then there is more there. Sometimes when you have a pretty good big goal and you're going there, you have no idea what you're gonna gain from pursuing this journey
along the way.
You know, there was this example that Peter Sage gave later on about impacts when you're doing something. Talking about the bees, you know, this idea that if you ask the honey bee what their job, they will say is making honey, but we all know as outside observers that what they're doing is much more than that. What they're doing is pollinating all the plants and keeping us alive, literally.
The purpose is different. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
So, as you're watching, as you're going through your goal, I'm saying that what I'm trying to say here is be conscientious of third-party observers. They might be seeing more than you do. They probably do. As I'm going through failures, I remember failure is crazy. One of my biggest failure. I'm in St. Christopher's, and we were playing basketball. This was my junior year. I'm in this basketball tournament, you know, and I'm having this game. I'm playing a wonderful game. I'm challenging the other team, but guess what? In that game, I couldn't stop missing free throws. I missed free throws left and right, and then we lose it was the semifinals. We lose by 1 point.
Ha! If it was made,
I
made two
missed,
free throws.
I missed 13, 15 free throws that game.
Yes.
I was crushed. I was embarrassed. You know, I was in the bus in the back, embarrassed. I couldn't look at my teammates in the eyes. Daniel Omondi being Daniel Omondi will not stop. Daniel, come on, bro. It will roast you on your face, and you know.
Hey, men being men.
I didn't feel right. But later on, our coach, who was a man of few words, he said, "Do you understand that you are their biggest problem this game? This has been your best game ever. Most of your points, most assists. You're a puzzle to solve, and the resulted to fouling you. You're in your head about the shots, but this was your best. This is a big step for next season." All of a sudden, my perspective on the day changed. A bit of respite, and because I'm an internal positive person, now to this day, I remember that game mostly as being my stepping out game.
Yes.
You know, and he told me that by myself. Daniel, my teammates were not there, you know, and they were kind. I only got 1 day of being roasted to miss the semifinal by 1 point when you've missed 13 free throws. You know, but that was a long time ago. But that third party, gave me a better picture of what my goal of getting to the finals and going to the United States for the basketball camp.
If you're watching this and you're familiar with the Enneagram, this personality type paradigm, I'm a 3. I'm a poster child for a 3. I'm built for achievement. I'm built to conquer.
3!
It's what I do. It's what I do. And coming into the awareness of this principle that
Yes.
The achievement of a goal is not the main thing. It's not the main prize. It gave me a lot of relief. It gave me a lot of relief because my sense of self-worth, my appreciation of self, my self-love was tightly connected to goal achievement. And that is why I tend to do crazy things. I go to extreme lengths to achieve my goals. You know, to learn English, to do so many things. I just naturally go to extreme lengths because what am I after all if I'm not somebody who can conquer? So when I heard it was a huge breath of relief, realizing, man, even if at some point along the road, let's say I had a goal to run a marathon. The running became something really important in my life last year, and for the past 2 years, I think. And whatever happened, I don't know if I sustained an injury or something where my knee was really not feeling well when I was running. That ate at me. It ate at me for a long time.
Because you couldn't accomplish
Yes, because I could not
marathon.
accomplish my goal. So it was a huge ego hit. Really, that's really what it is. And now that I can analyze that, look back at it, I realize that number one, my health overall improved. My cardiovascular improved.
You started talking to me about VO
Yes,
max, whatever
yes,
that number
VO2
is.
max, and these sort of things. And also, I got an appreciation of the discipline that is required to achieve that goal, the consistency required. And I was quite consistent for a little while there. And seeing my body change, and also that cementing of the belief that when I put my mind to something, I can do it. I can do it. So all these small things along the way that live long after the goal has been achieved or not are the actual prize. So I have less importance on these goals. I have less pressure on these goals. I'm gonna do them. In fact, I may achieve a goal and realize that, okay, this was not even all that hard. I didn't really change all that much. I will push that line. So it really is just a game, just a pretext for you to improve, to get out of your comfort zone. That's really all it is. Attaching your identity to your goal, whether you achieve them or not, is really nonsense. It's really about looking a little deeper and appreciating the other aspects of your personality, the other changes that happen to you that will outlive the goal. So, yes.
And it explains why the most important part of the goal is the input.
Because there will inevitably be some results that you get back.
Yes.
There will definitely be some feedback that you get. Okay, third aspect of goals. We talked about the fact that, goals do not need to be, achievement of goals is not the end in and of itself. And we also talked about the importance of writing down your goals. Now, this last one, I still don't know where I sit with this one.
Really?
I still don't agree with this much, but the notion that you should not be able to know how to accomplish your goal when you set it. So your goal should be so big that when you set it, at the moment of setting the goal, you do not have a clue how to achieve it. Oh my God.
I like it. I actually agree now.
With that?
I agree now.
What? This one, to this day as I speak to you, I don't know. Maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle, but go on.
I think you are trapped in your personality in this one. This one is not designed for you. You're a methodical, process-driven man. How do you approach a goal that you have no idea how to achieve? It's not achievable. You are more likely to automatically, just by nature, breaking down into eatable pieces.
I guess my view is you should have the first set of bricks laid down, right? You should have the first number of steps. And as you move along, you have this faith, and we're about to talk about faith here soon, that the next ones will show up. That I should have at least an inkling of an idea.
Yeah.
An inkling of, okay, this is at least somebody who's achieved something similar. This is a book that can take me somewhere. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know, I understand your point. And in practice, that's what I'm realizing. I agree with it in practice. I agree with that idea in practice because of personal experience of what we have gone through.
Yeah.
This idea of taking control by setting those first steps, by having them clear, and then shackling ourselves in this process. And then eventually figuring it out there's a completely other way to do it that came out of left field.
The puzzle shall shift.
Yeah. All of a sudden now, you're no longer battling the fact that the puzzle has shifted, but you're also now mourning the commitment that you had on the past puzzle. Because it becomes something to mourn. Because there is nothing we do halfway. We are crazy people.
Yes.
The things that we commit to, we go for it.
Yes.
And then we will sit there on the chair and then create a plan, well-studied plan,
well-prepared
to the best of our ability, knowing that this is what we have to go, this is what we have to do. I know what to do now, so I'm going to go for it. And I'm realizing that is a limiting belief. New thought for me.
Please expand on that one. This one juicy.
That is limiting belief because it almost takes away our focus for other means of solving the problem. Because there can be other means screaming, look at me, I'm right here. Please, Christian, turn your mind, look at me. Christian is Christian. I'm an 8. Time to go kill. You know what I mean? And then eventually, deep down, we have to get complication, whatever, and then we do this thing that we often do. We go, we sit down, we say, okay, let's sit at the table and let's look at this again.
Hey.
And guess what? Inevitably enough, wait, you mentioned that a long time ago we started. But that we have that conversation many times. Or that other view of this, why have we not talked about this before? This direction before? And why did we talk about it? The reason is because we had a plan and wanted to execute on that plan, so we followed it. We need to take the time to just sit there with it and absorb it, and be comfortable with the fact that we don't know where it's gonna start, and instead of going for something, allowing something to colonize or come on us to us. I know this is uncomfortable for you, but this is recent for me as well.
And it just sounds too fluffy. It sounds.
It is true, but it is
No,
true.
look, okay, let's make sure that we were talking about the same thing here.
Yes.
That we were understanding each other.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's pick. What is a goal that I can? Okay, let's say you and I were seated here.
Mm-hmm.
We were inspired by this beautiful park. There's all these trees,
Mm-hmm.
and then we decide that we want to double the
Mm-hmm.
amount of trees in Kansas City because it improves the health, it improves, oxygen output and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to go about this, but it's
Yes.
clearly important, and I'm inspired as we're getting to those elements in this conversation here soon.
Mm-hmm.
So to you, what does the person do then? Do you just wait until inspiration hits and you have the first step?
No.
It's that part that maybe I'm not expressing well. So that first step, what do you do first?
Yes. Before I tell you what I do first, I want to know what you would do first.
What I
Yes.
would do first.
Yes.
What I would do first is I would go and identify the most skilled tree planter that there's ever been.
Yes.
How did he, at his best, at his peak in production, definitely not at his beginning. So at his peak or her peak of production, that person, what were they doing?
Yes.
I'll have laid out before me, and you better believe I shall study this.
Yeah, you will. You definitely will.
I will study how the most efficient method of tree planting that they achieved in their entire career. Look at that. Now compared to, okay, what resources do I have? Can I match this plan at about 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, and start from there with the best that I can. Go after those who've already walked the path before me, expecting full well along the way the puzzle will shift because uncertainty is part of the game.
Yes.
The puzzle will shift. I may have to go back down to zero, restart first one, but I'm just advocating for that first step. There has to be, you have to have some, they call it a leap of faith. You're about to jump, but
Yes.
the place from which you jump is a firm foundation. Now it's for you now to jump. So having a goal and not the faintest clue where to even begin sniffing, I don't see how that is practical. I don't see how that makes sense. So that's my point.
Okay.
Does that change anything, or did you understand me from the start?
No, I understand you completely,
Okay,
fully.
go on.
I understand you completely fully, and I want to point out this is new for me, as you know.
Yes.
As I'm observing this, but I came to agreement with this problem because I'm looking at what you did there.
Yes.
It really does one thing very important. The one thing is sets you on the path.
Not necessarily, but go on, please.
Yes, it sets you on the path because you're committed to this style, right? This first break, and then obviously the puzzle will change
Yes,
and you'll return, right?
if needed, yeah.
So now here is the most important part to know. Thing number one is I don't know where to start to accomplish this goal. I have no idea where to start, but it means now I begin the search. All right?
Okay.
So when you're setting a goal, you don't want to set a goal like, for example, you're a scientist. What would a scientist's goal would be?
Let's
Okay,
cure cancer.
let's cure cancer. There's many steps in between that you've studied years in school. Research
Yes.
you can go about it, right?
Yes.
And then with that basis of your research and your professional things, you're gonna find yourself with a lot of scientists, other scientists who have been working on this. You're gonna solve that in that manner, follow it in that manner, in a way,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I'm not you. You probably
Okay.
have a much better, clear path to follow, But there is a person who will hold this, put his intention out there, and be led to go see a showman in the Amazon.
Okay, continue. Okay.
So what I'm telling you is, let's start looking for our showman in the Amazon. In some way.
I don't disagree with you. I don't
Yes.
disagree with you. It's just, and we do that for business as well.
Yes.
We learn from those who've succeeded. We find the closest examples to either be inspired by, to mirror in some aspects. That is the part that I'm talking about. The way that notion has always been painted to me is, okay, shoot for the stars, or whatever that expression goes, and
Yes.
figure it out along the way. I'm like, okay, I have to start from somewhere.
Yes.
I have to start from somewhere, but I have to let go of any attachment, any commitment. I have to understand from the start, okay, to me, I feel safer, I feel better, more confident. The first steps that I'm taking, at least I have good reasons to believe that there's a chance of success down this road.
You know, what you said before this put us in the same box. Letting go of every commitment.
Oh yeah.
Or that first step.
Okay.
That's what I mean. I mean,
Yes.
I don't mean it's impossible to go and flying like a bird.
C'est ça, non?
What is this?
You're
But
ready for
you have to take a first step,
Yes.
but not commit to it, because then this puts blinders
Yes.
from other paths that opens up. Like if you say your example for trees, you'd already worked out a few things. You figured out your specialist.
Yeah, the
You've gone to
best.
see first. You even interviewed him. What was his speak?
Yes.
You know, you're
understand.
on this crazy committed path. Imagine you are 30 steps in, and then a random option 1 shows up. That would take you back to first one, to step 1. But it just says, hey, I'm here. You could have started here. Now you're committed. You're 30 steps in. You're like, start over. Are you crazy?
Yeah,
I'm going with better. That's what I'm
The
saying.
distinction that you brought is critical.
Yes.
We have to be detached.
Detached.
Because as we understand,
Yes.
the goal is not to achieve the goal anyway.
Yes.
So you have to be detached to accept whatever the river will bring to you. Yes, I agree with that as well.
Yes.
I agree with that. All right, so that's quite a bit about goals, as we talked about goals, and let's move on to faith.
Yes.
Faith, I cannot wait to hear what you have to think about this one. We are Christians, so when I share with you my side of things, it's impossible to be completely detached from my religious background. But I will try my best to speak to as neutrally as I can. And again, for this one, the way that the information was presented to us was our teacher distinguished between belief and faith in a way that was really interesting that I'd never heard before.
Very
And-
insightful.
Yes, he said, a belief is a feeling of certainty. As we talked about certainty recently, is a feeling of certainty, strong, the highest level of confidence. A feeling of certainty, but that has a point of reference.
Yes.
So when you believe, if I see a 5-year-old, if I see a 5-year-old able to jump from the ground to the top of those bleachers that I'm seeing over there, it's 5 steps. I've never done it. I've never tried to do that. But obviously it's a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So my point of reference is, I'm stronger than this young fella. I jump higher. Surely I'll do it. So that right there is an expression of a belief.
Yeah.
You believe, you have a strong sense of confidence because you have a point of reference. It could be from you, from anybody else.
Yeah.
And faith is also a strong feeling of a sense of certainty as well, but with no point of reference.
Yes.
That's how he explained them. And I thought that was beautiful. That was really simple.
Except for one thing
Which one?
that you know.
Go on.
You
Go
just
on,
know.
please.
You just know. And that was funny for me because basically what the shade say, you just know that you know. Those who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. When you're differentiating faith and belief. And I have an obsession with language, just of words, etc. And this just took me to a place of the difference when people have told me I have faith in you and I believe in you. You believe in somebody because you've seen them grow through difficult things. You've seen them solve puzzles.
Track record, yeah.
They have a track record.
Yep.
You have faith in somebody that is much more expensive. Nothing tells you, nothing in this present tells you that I'm going to be where I'm going to be. But there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be there. God forgive me. I wish there was. Right? It's like I look at you. I have complete faith in you. I know where we are going. I've seen it here. There's no point that tells me I want to know where he wants to go, but nothing tells me that you're going to go there. Nothing you have done, nothing you have approached, but I just know. It's like almost that thing in my heart, in my soul that say, of course he's gonna do it.
Yes.
You know. So yes, I agree. I agree with that definition of faith and belief, and I even think in some way it even matches the religion understanding of the word faith.
Okay.
In a way.
How so?
Believing in God and having faith in God, having faith in the existence of God, having faith in what is going to do for you in the context of your life. You know, having faith is different. We have faith that this year will change. This year will change. This year will be different.
With no logical reason for it. With
Come on.
no. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is nothing. I mean, if I told you that I was going to learn a new skill and master it, you have no problem believing that.
Yes.
You've seen me do this
Yes.
throughout our lives multiple times with different things. Same for you. I have nothing to believe that you can learn anything. You know? But having faith pushes you further in the goal selection. Because if you only work with what you believe, your goals can only be so big.
True.
The reason you need faith, I'm only talking about vision. So the reason you need faith is because certain goals are going to require faith. They just are. We have no reference of how that is even possible, but you have a firm understanding, firm belief, firm sense of knowing that not only it's possible, but it's going to happen to you. And nobody can dissuade you of that. Something we've had already in our lives. In our early years, growing up, as we've shown in that video talking about our story, I had this
Factual.
strange, clear knowing that I'll be in the United States and I will learn engineering and I will come back home I was stupid then as a child, you know. I thought
The
that
goals changed, as you said.
yes, it changed
Along the way.
Yeah, but that I will use the engineering skill I've learned to transform the infrastructure of my country. Entrepreneurs change infrastructure, not engineers. But there was no friend then. Living in abject poverty.
Did you even know a single person living here? A family member?
No,
Close.
there has never been a single family member of my family. I am the only, as a matter of fact, I am the first of my family. Guess what? After me, almost everybody went somewhere.
Hey, you bust the doors open.
You know, so I do not have a big brother who has ever gone anywhere. I don't have an uncle. No one in my family, with small or large family, had broken through the constraints of our geographical environment. They're all somewhere around there, you know. And as you know, your environment has a lot to dictate with your achievement. And I just believed that I am made for a bigger environment. And then I was lucky enough that my father shared that faith with me. I don't think he shared that faith with me. I guess he didn't want to crush a young fella's soul. I don't know. But we both agreed that, of course, you're going to go. And then we lived our life as if I was going to go. When it was time to make decisions to go to high school and to do things to high school, we made them based on this goal that I was going to go. So I found myself in Kenya, just walking away slowly toward that path. And before I knew it, for me, it was as if it was always meant to be. This was the next step. I'm in that plane going to college in America. And then before I knew it, I was an engineer. And then I realized that's not what I'm called to. But it required faith. And that was the kind of faith, complete belief and complete knowing. No basis for it.
Dans le néant, in nothingness. Faith.
It's important.
The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. You know, the average Christian is likely to recount that verse that explains faith. And that is only missing one part in it, which is the action of obedience. So your faith is also proven by the actions that you take.
Faith is active.
Yes. Because you have faith, you act.
Exactly what happened.
What?
Because this is a series of decisions that happens. A certain language that happens in the house. I get bad grade and my pops will open the door and say, you want to go to America, you're going to need better grade than this.
Hey, your actions have to be aligned. It has to be consistent.
You know? And I remember thinking to myself, okay, this girl thinks I'm a soul. This girl thinks I'm not pushing it. I'm pretty good at sport. Let me push this sport thing and see how far I can go. Okay, as a twist of fate, my first time to coming to America was through sports.
Yes.
You know, but it could have been anything else, to be honest. You know? But the obedience, because I believed, I had faith, right? It allowed me to confidently set a goal that was out of reach. And also, it forced me to act in accordance to the manifestation of that faith. I avoided getting in trouble because I did not want, for example, to have criminal backgrounds that would show up for my visa interview.
Yes.
So I did not partake in some things. I was in Kenya. A lot of my friends started being introduced to weed. My parents are far away. They will never know. And I'm a curious fellow. I would like to know, but I do not want to risk it.
Yes.
Because there's this future that I have. You know, and then I started running, lifting, building my body because I thought somehow, you know, it's probably going to be through sports, you know, etc. I did not know what it's going to be true. I did not know what was going to cause it, but I took a series of decisions, a series of actions that brought about the manifestation of my faith, which was my goal. But in the center of that all, the linchpin for that all was faith. And now I'm understanding why the title is Goal, Faith, then Vision. Because the faith brings them together.
Faith is the glue that brings them together. I also want to I'd like to touch on faith in a higher being.
Yes.
Faith in a higher being and the notion of surrender.
Yes.
I was surprised to find out that one of my dearest teachers, Vadim Zealand, a man, I don't know if this man is still alive, but the man is responsible for a lot of my growth, a lot of concepts that I now have experienced with.
In a very uncomfortable way.
Yes.
Ugh.
I was not expecting him to talk about the fact that believing in a higher being is actually one of the most liberating things that you can do. The act of surrendering, all of a sudden, the responsibility, the onus of the achievement or of all that it takes to achieve a goal is not on you anymore.
Yes.
Because you believe in this intelligence, being outside of you. Some people, for them it's the sun, for them it's the earth. I'm not condoning those, right? But the notion is that because I believe in God, because I have faith in God, it really puts me at ease knowing that, I have on my side a power that is far more superior than I can even imagine, who can provide all the things that I need, the encouragement along the way as well, the physical resources for me to achieve my goal. That has been paramount. And to me, reminds me of watching the NBA, watching sports, as we both watch a lot of sports, or watched a lot of sports to be accurate. You'll see grown men not afraid to admit that, you know what, I walked into the finals with confidence because I could look right next to me and I see LeBron James right there. I know we're good. So this man, you've put, imagine the ease with which that person is walking on the court with. It's like, you know what, the bulk of the work is not even on me. All I have to do is just be present at the right time, perform the right set of actions, not even the work to exhaustion, this notion that you have to work every waking second of your life, nonsense. I just have to be there. The right steps will be before me because God loves me and he will not confuse me. Now, okay, we're getting a little into the religious part of things maybe, but because I believe that there is a higher being out there who has my back.
Yes.
And I have faith in that. Peter Sage says that your faith comes from your relationship with life. He urges his students, of which we were, to sit down and identify the parts of life that you can trust and then lean on them. That's how he puts it. So to me, it makes me grin a little bit because in a way, actually completely, us Christians, we do the same thing but towards God, obviously. So this is the higher being that we believe in. This is the higher power who's paving the way, who's given us the relief and the courage, the strength, all that is needed to achieve the goals that we have set before us. So, do you have anything to add to that? The importance of surrender.
Yes. And I'm going to talk about responsibility, the word responsibility.
Yes.
Responsibility is a heavy word. All right? Responsibility weighs something. And it's so heavy and so consequential in the experience of happiness or fulfillment for humans that there is two major ways people deal with it. You take it too seriously, or sometimes even you ignore it. You avoid it.
Okay.
Because of its consequence. Right? So now, if you're one of those people who have embraced the responsibility for everything in their life, right? I am responsible for the success of this affair. This is me. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make it happen.
Exhausting.
And then you go there in the world. And then it can go two ways. You do everything you possibly can to make it happen, and then it happens. For that, you deserve all the credit for what happened. Right? Now, you can go out there, not do everything it takes for it to happen, and then it does not happen. Right? For that, you can take all the blame comfortably. Because deep down you know,
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
It's all me. I messed up. Yeah.
That here comes a scenario in which you do every single possible thing for it to happen. You leave no stone unturned. And then it doesn't happen. When the responsibility is yours to carry, and when you feel responsible for it, that is a source of despair. That will put you on your knees. And this is the plight of many great achievers, personality-wise. We're just built to do everything we can to exhaustion, trying to control the uncontrollable for the achievement of our goal, not giving up. And knowing truly in your heart, facing yourself in the mirror, knowing there is nothing else I could have done, and I still failed. It is a thing of horror, it is a fear for many, terrifying. But there comes the kind of people who have figured out that true control does not belong to them. At the end of the day, regardless of our input, there is a higher power manipulating the field. And I can do everything possible and it not happening, and the credit will not belong to me. The blame will not belong to me. The blame will be on him. And the same thing goes for doing everything and being successful. The blame, the credit belongs to him. Now, here is a very interesting trick. When you start relying on him, quite often, I'm going to go ahead and say something sacrilegious possibly. It is highly possible that if you do it consistently for a long time, as you're working with God, which is the higher power for me, when you're working with God, and it gives you responsibility, you do everything you can to make it happen, and it happens, and you give him the credit for it. And then once you do everything, it doesn't happen, the blame belongs to him. First off, you're flatlining. So it means your emotions are not up and down. But there is this beautiful, enriched area of benefits you enter, where sometimes you don't need to do everything that is required for something for it to happen.
Mercy.
You enter that place where you have a goal, and then because you've been related to him, believing in him for so much, the universe itself starts laboring for you. All of a sudden, something you should have done. I should have gone and, in your example, you see the example, I should have gone and searched for the best tree planter in the world. This is labor. You have to go in databases. You have to search for a tree planter. Next thing you know, you're in the plane, traveling home from a business meeting. Somebody sits next to you. Oh, what's up, man? How are you doing? I'm doing well. What do you do? Oh, I am the best tree planter in the world. Obviously, that's what your life start looking like.
Yep.
And it is very difficult to reach to that point of life, to attract that kind of favor, to attract that kind of alignment, unless you have given up responsibility and control to a higher power.
Surrender.
Surrender. You have to let go. And for me, this is the biggest step of the season. I have to let go. You know, I'm writing a book and I'm tempted to, like, you know, force the publishing in a certain way, or even force the story. But let go. Anyways, the story came to me randomly. Anyways, it's not like I cannot take. I don't even take credit for being the author of this story. Honestly, I'm telling you right now, whatever this story is gonna do when it ends, I can't believe I wrote that story. I'm not a writer. If my teachers knew that I was writing, or my friends to whom I write all the time, who watch me read building things, knew that I wrote a story like that, they wouldn't believe it was me. And because it is not me, I don't take responsibility. So whether this book flops or the book succeeds, how is that my business? It's not my business at all. How freeing is that?
Quite. Minimizing importance. You just do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, and you detach from the results, and you know that at some point it'll go where the creator, where God is intending for it to be, and that is the only place you find true fulfillment anyway, true happiness.
Yeah, this is even a step further. I've come to places in certain times where, when it doesn't work out, instead of feeling anguish, I feel relief. I'm like, I did everything I could do. It didn't work out. What if it worked out? What would have happened to me? Where would this have gone? Which kind of doors was this? Thank you, God, for closing it. I don't know what was on the other side. Because in the past, I forced things, and then you let me get in. And when I went to the other side, I got slapped up and down and left and right, and wish I never forced that door. All of a sudden, my entire relationship with achievement has changed.
Let's tie this all together. And we've talked about goal setting.
Yes.
We've talked about faith. And now the third component, and you'll realize here soon that you cannot separate them. All these three have to be there together in harmony. And here I'm talking about vision.
Yes.
I'm talking about vision. And what do I mean by vision here? I simply mean the thoughts that you have that the world could be better and you can do something about it. That compelling. In fact, vision is the compelling force that improves the world.
Yes.
You know, somebody has to sit there and be entirely convinced that, you know what, this could be better. This is eating at me, this could be better, and I can do something about it. And yes, I'm gonna do something about it. I do not know how.
Yes.
But I know that I can. I know that this is meant for me. There's faith right there.
Yes.
And it'll take a bunch of goals along the way. It'll
Yes.
take a bunch of goals along the way for you to be able to achieve that. But let's dwell on vision for a moment. And I guess here we can interchange the word, knowing your nerdism about word choice and all that stuff. But I loosely use the word purpose here as well. You know, very loosely, just for the sake of this conversation, really, for the most part.
Yes, I agree with you.
What do you have to say? What do you have to say about vision in that way? And this is a common issue that people have.
Yes.
I don't know what purpose in life is. I don't know what vision I have for life. Yes.
I want to bring you back to goals, and for why I believe that the best goal you can have in one that you actually know you'll never achieve.
It took me a long time to agree with that, but I agree with that.
Yeah, because I looked at my life, observed my life. I did an audit as I was preparing, you know. And I look at everything that I'm doing that seemingly is random after the analogy of the bee. So I wanted to look at myself like an outsider would look at the bee and what the bee wouldn't know. And I realized that I have a vision and I have an ultimate goal, and that is the only goal of my life. There is no many. We are from the Democratic Republic of Congo, a beautiful country in the heart of Africa.
243.
Clear as day. The mission for my life is that every willing, able body who wants to work to take care of their family in the proper dignity will be able to. I want to be a force, an actor to do so, to improve the quality of mind, the quality of work, the quality of environment. Everything I do in my life is for that goal. I looked at the non-profit that I'm working on. The purpose, giving a chance to kids that have been abandoned so that they have the proper education to sustain themselves. I look at my choices of businesses. You know, I'm interested in manufacturing. You know, and all the other aspirations that I'm not comfortable sharing in this format.
Yes.
All of those seem to align to that one single thing. And even the kind of person that you have to become to do this. You have to become a kind of person who captures an audience and attention. Hence, we are here talking to you today and trying to capture this, learning how to capture an audience and attention. You need to become a great communicator. As I'm working on that, you need to become a wonderful thinker to do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is an exercise of trying to do that. At the end of the day, this all-consuming deep goal can be seen in all the activities that I choose to partake in. Writing a book that is sharing my mind, that is sharing my heart, and that is creating an audience.
Yes.
That I can use for belief to take me there. The things that I do musically, you know, everything that I do at the end of the day is for one day when I'm old and gray to look back and think I put a dent. When I first started, almost everybody did not have the job, a dignifying job back home. Now, almost everybody who wants to can. And that is the vision for my life. I'm sharing it with you because I want you to keep me accountable for it. I want to keep this
bring this
single.
30 years.
This is a single vision for my life.
Yes.
And it drives the decisions I make. It's going to drive the decision of where I live. This informs everything I do, every mini goal on the journey. It informs which job I decide to tackle or not tackle. It informs which country I decide to visit or not visit. You know, and I'm hoping that though a lot of the small things I'm doing were unconscious choice that I did not see how they weave together until I was thinking about this yesterday, you know, I will carry this consciousness and I will continue to make my decision based on that. So faith and goals together to satisfy a vision.
You know, attempting to live a life of surrender to a higher power that Christian and I call Yahweh, call God. I've come to believe that the vision that we have are not from us, that they're inspired by Him, for Him, and it's not by power nor by might, but by His Spirit. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I find it funny. This is just a thought that is coming back to me right now, that we are very different people. Very. I think you would list on one hand the things that we really have in common, and they're so strong and so powerful. They're key. They're key values that make up for all the minor, differences that we may have. And it just dawns on me that if I were forced to put down on paper what I perceive to be the purpose of my life, the words would not be too far from yours. But it'll just be done a little bit differently. But in the end, I'm committed to the well-being of the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
And what are the odds?
What are the odds?
That with that, both kids from Congo who grew up together, separated, live different lives.
Yes.
We found ourselves in the future just randomly working together toward this goal.
Since I was a kid, this is not something that I've come to formulate last year.
You can ask everybody.
Since I was a kid. So you really cannot outdo your nature. You know, if you look back at your life and you really take a close and hard look, you realize that there's a pattern behind the choices that you've made, the people that you've hung out with, dated, married, and all that stuff. So all this makes sense. All this is one singular thread that links your life together.
You know, what you just said brings me to one thing. And this might sound like platitude for many people, but it is a true pain to struggle in identifying the reason why you are here.
Yes.
I had my period of pain. early on. A bit earlier than you, I think, because I was in college. You were in college too when you had that pain. I don't know. I don't remember. But I wanted to identify that.
To put precise words on it. You always had an inkling. You
Yeah,
kinda
an inkling,
know
but
where you're being
yes,
pushed. Yes.
But for example, me, I had an inkling, but here I am, having received my degree in mathematics and my degree in engineering. As if
it feels hollow,
I was
empty.
like,
Yeah.
okay, the next step is now get a job, go sit on a desk and design pipelines. That was such an unsatisfying thing.
Yes.
This was very difficult. Yes, I'm proud of me for doing it. My parents are proud of me for doing it. But what? You know. And the reason I'm saying this is because, Ben, when you talk about observing your past, is I truly believe that we are not made by accident. It's not by accident that I'm an impulsive figure, 6'3", large person my entire life. It's not by accident that, Ben, you speak the way you speak. It's not by accident that we've been given the things we've been given.
True.
So there are things that are in us that have already showed up many times in our entire life. This is something that I noticed in my life. The first person to teach me was one of my coaches. Everybody who tends to spend time around you improves. But I embrace that. I made that the song of my life. And I think it is a responsibility that I want to be that kid that every parent for their kids to be around. And I've always wanted to be in a young age, and I've been. I've always been in many of my friends for many reasons. I've challenged them to do better. And some of them have. And those who have not tried have faded away. Weirdly. And I continue to. And I still want to challenge the Congolese man to be the most he can be. So the things you've been given, I've been given a desire to inspire, a desire to encourage. Sometimes also I can say I've been given the passion for it. Sometimes the voice and the words for it. Well, that's not something that you create by yourself. So if you want to find what you have been called to, try to see what you have been given. Some of you are working in offices while you cannot stop yourself from painting and drawing amazing things. Stories in your mind all the time, and you're calling them hobbies.
Yeah.
Some of you have followed the clear path, the obvious path, the expected path, while inside of you scream a rock star. Who knows? If you are unsatisfied with this idea of what I'm made for, what is my purpose, what is the vision of life that I'm made for, the first step, do you even know what you have? What have you been given? Because we were made purposefully by a purposeful God who knows exactly what He's doing and gave us the tool to do the job. We are tools. Some of us are wrenches, some of us are jacks, some of us are screwdrivers. Let's figure it out. Let's reverse engineer what we're supposed to be by looking at what this invisible creator has given us and use it to pin down what is our vision for life.
This is going to be my closing thought, really, as our conversation is nearing to its end.
Yeah.
I have a number of younger siblings, and if one of them came up to me and was like, well, Ben, you seem to have a strong sense of understanding of your purpose in life, of your goal in life. I don't have one. I don't even know where to start. What I would honestly tell them is, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're not. This attempt at, crafting the best paragraph to describe it, it may happen down the road. It's likely to happen down the road for you to understand it. Maybe in your latter years, on your deathbed, or sooner than that. But that's not the point. What I would tell them is, be busy serving and loving. There you go again. Another thing that sounds quite fluffy, but you are unlikely to serve beyond your natural abilities, your natural instincts. And this purpose has to be beyond you anyway. It's about serving others. And
it's a principal human need.
Yes, it's beyond serving others. And right here where you are right now, you can make a difference somewhere. It could be at your church. It could be at any group of people that you meet. It could be at a park like this, picking up trash, cleaning up. It could be a number of things. There are just, if you look hard enough within you, you'll find opportunities for you to serve. And start there. In the process of serving, the dominoes will begin to fall in place, if I can put it that way.
Indeed.
And I add loving. I've come to have a better understanding of what love is. And
Yes.
Lo and behold, 1 Corinthians 13 in the Bible just explains that out really well. And I've made it a habit now to, when I question if I'm being loving or not, I just check those boxes. Am I patient? Am I kind? Am I, so on and so forth. And another way you can put it is treat others the way that you would want to be treated, really. Love your neighbor as thyself. Doing those two things, attempting to do best of your ability to serve as much as you can, and to also treat other people around you as you would like to be treated. I promise you, sooner or later you'll find that you're being beautifully moved into what you were meant to be. And chances are, as Christian said earlier, people around you will tell you.
Yes.
You'll just get feedback. You get
They'll
feedback
tell you.
all
There is
around
something
you.
you say, you know what, you do this easily.
Yes.
And what Ben would describe is, honestly, satisfying the human need that is most up with fulfillment will lead you to your vision or your mission, your purpose.
Yes.
Satisfying the need for growth, and the need for
contribution.
contribution.
Yes.
So if that's, nobody wants to be pathetic, nobody wants to be the same, and nobody wants to grow in all areas. God knows I don't care much to grow in the areas of being the best cleaner of rooms that I can. There's specific areas where there is a call in my body that I need to grow. I feel the need to grow as a communicator.
And it'd be hard to ignore it.
Yes,
It'll eat at
impossible.
you.
I feel the need to grow as a thinker. I feel a crushing need to grow as a leader. Crushing over everything else.
I understand that.
And that is my thing. Some people feel a terrible need to grow as a musician. So if you satisfy your needs of fulfillment, which is the need of growth and contribution, well, your purpose will show itself to you with time
Facts.
and clarity. Do you want to give us a recap so we can say goodbye to these people?
I was going to
Time
ask
is
you
gone.
precisely to do that. But anyway,
Yes,
so we've talked about quite a few things. We've talked about goals.
Yes.
We've talked about faith. We've talked about vision.
yes,
And how they all tie together. We've discussed the fact that goals, number one, are to be written down because it recruits your entire being, and that is critical in the achievement of your goal.
Yes.
Or on that journey. We've also mentioned the fact that your goals, the achievement of your goals, so getting to that finish line and raising your hand like Rocky,
yes,
that is not the point of it. That is a fleeting moment that comes and goes quick, and you will forget about that so quickly.
yes,
Rather, the main prize that you get in goal achievement is discovering the person that you need to be to achieve that goal.
What should become on your way.
Yes, acquiring those resources, those tools, and those are far, far long lasting.
Yes.
They outlive by far the Rocky Balboa moment where you raise your fist up in the air. And
Absolutely.
also we mentioned that your goals, when you set them, if you know exactly how to achieve them from the beginning,
yes,
it is a telltale sign that you are stuck well in the center of your comfort zone.
yes,
And you're not growing. In fact, you are regressing by staying in your comfort zone because you either grow or die. And we moved on to faith. We distinguished that, beliefs are the sense of confidence that you have, but with a point of reference. And faith is also that sense of certainty, but without a point of reference. We discussed the importance of having a higher being to surrender to, because it just makes your life much easier.
Yes.
It moves the responsibility, the onus of the magnitude of the task from your shoulders to much more competent shoulders that can shoulder the burden way better than you.
Yes.
And we finished on vision. Finished on vision. This pull that you have that the world can be a better place because you were here, because you left the mark. And in the process of serving, in the process of growing, in the process of loving, you will discover your purpose. You just will. That's what we talked about today.
Wonderful people. We're at the end of our conversation today, and before we leave, I have to plead with you guys. We need your help. We are desperate to grow this. because with growth there is more resources, there's better quality. This is our humble beginnings, and we embrace that and enjoy that, but we need you. So if you found this valuable, if it added something to your life, do us a service. Like and subscribe. Maybe comment. Share it with somebody else. Because as we grow, we will have more resources. With those resources, we'll be able to give you better production. Something that you can enjoy watching and also learn from, and for teachers that are far better than us. With that being said, this was B.E.E.F, brothers enjoying endless favor. And we shall see you next time. Goodbye.
Favor.